Hey everyone, and welcome to Isms by Josie. Today we're going to be completing the Crafter Square Crochet Amigurumi Animal Kit, doing the bumblebee that I bought at the Dollar Tree. For my returning subscribers, thank you so much for tuning in, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and click on that notification bell for future videos. So today, you guys, we're going to be completing this really cute bumblebee. I am going to be doing this today for left-handed only. It's pretty much similar to righty. You just obviously use your left hand versus your right hand. In this kit, it includes the plastic needle. It has some yarn, some stuffing, crochet hook. The crochet hook, it's written here on very light embossed writing. This is a 3.5 millimeter sized hook, and then it comes with the plastic beads. I normally don't use them, but I think for the second time around I'm going to be just using the beads than embroidering it. So I will be repeating new stitches step by step 3 times at least minimum, because I know that these instructions are better than the first 6 characters they came out with, but there's still a little struggle with trying to teach beginners how to start off these projects and how to continue it. So we're going to do that. I'm going to work through each round, and then of course we're going to see the end result. I'll always try to get everything into one video. If it won't fit into one video, which is I think I try to keep a longest 2 hours, we're going to just chop it up in different videos if it's longer. And I know 2 hours sounds long. Well, let me just tell you, these kits aren't 1, 2, 3, go, okay? It's a beginner kit supposedly. It's not. But with any project that you do, I mean, there could be tiny ones that last 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. These kits aren't that fast, especially if you want something really cute and detailed like this. Then you just got to put in the time. So let's get straight into this. I'm using my own yarn because I've already done this kit in righty. And if you're wondering where, well, if it's that important, someone will ask me. But as of now, we're just posting the lefty. And it's been a hot minute. I am a lefty, believe it or not, but I've done so many righty videos for the general masses that I feel awkward doing lefty now. Okay, so if you're doing your lefty, we're going to take this piece of yarn. We're going to start the magic loop. And it sounds and looks on these instructions very difficult, but it kind of isn't once you get the hang of it. So you want to wrap the yarn about 3 times around your finger like this. You want to have 1, 2, 3 strands. You want a little bit of this overage here so that you can take your middle finger and just clamp down the yarn. You could always readjust your strands, make them tight. I know, well, not too tight, but tight, because some of these kits do not come with enough material, and I can't stress that enough. It's very disappointing when I hear comments or see your comments and you say that there isn't enough, you ran out, da-da-da. I'm warning you now in the very beginning. Don't be surprised if you don't have enough yarn. If you don't want to worry about that, go and buy yourself some real life spools, because you can save those spools for another project. Or you can make this a thing and gift them out as birthday gifts to kids or what have you, and then you're good. A nice technical free gift. You pay $125 plus tax for this kit, and you can use your instructions to repeatedly use it and gift people these cute little bees. All right, so take your hook, and we're gonna slip this underneath this 3 strands like this. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to pull back the hook, and then we're going to pull this strand underneath these 2 strands. So hook that one. You can turn your hook to the side so that you can go right under these without having to grab them by accident. Okay. And once we're here, we're going to yarn over, which is putting this yarn over the hook like that, and we're going to pull this strand through this loop. So let's continue doing that. All right, now you can rewind this video if you missed it. Let me also remind you that if you need to slow down at any time, click on the gear button in the corner of the screen somewhere here. There's playback options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me talk, feel free to lower the volume on your device and then click on the CC closed caption button. But once you're at this point here, you can let go of your ring finger and you can pull the magic loops off your index. So now that we're here, you want to grab some yarn around your index finger on your right hand. Okay, for our first round, we are going to chain 1, do 6 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 6 stitches. So from here, we're going to chain 1. We're going to do a chain first. Now the chain is the most basic stitch of crocheting. Usually it's what you begin with when you're not doing amigurumi, but let me show you what a chain stitch is. So we're going to yarn over, which is putting this yarn over the hook like this. We're going to pull this strand through this one, through this loop. So let's do that. And that is a chain stitch. Look how it looks like a little French braid, or at least the beginnings of a French braid. That's chain 1. Now I'm going to show you guys how to do a single crochet stitch. So you're going to stick your hook into the double loops like this. You're going to yarn over and we're going to pull up a loop. So now we have 2 loops onto our hook here. We're going to yarn over again and you're going to pull through those 2 loops, and that is a single crochet stitch. Now we just have to do 5 more. So again, if you need to do this step by step, either rewind the video. I am going to do this 2 more times. If you would like, you can click on the gear button. There's playback options to go fast or slow. If you don't need to hear me, you can lower the volume on your device and then click on the CC button. So now let's do 5 more single crochet stitches. So put your hook into the double loops. You want to yarn over. We're going to pull up a loop. So now we have 2 loops onto our hook. You're going to yarn over again and we're going to pull through those 2 loops. 1, 2. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches in our chain stitch. So you can see how this French braid is coming along. That's what I call it, but they're just stitches. Alright, so now we just have to do this 4 more times. Stick your hook into the double loops. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop. We're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. So now we have 3 single crochet stitches and our chain stitch. Now I'm just going to do this 3 more times. Normal speed. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, try not to get into that piece there. Alright, so now we have 6 single crochet stitches or chain stitch. So now to close this magic loop, you want to hold the bottom. So if this is, let's say, the top, these stitches down here at the bottom, you want to hold the bottom stitches. Let's overhand this actually. Hold the bottom stitches, not too tightly, but just tight enough to stabilize it. We're going to pull this excess piece here and we're going to watch closely to see which one of these loops go in first. So once you identify which loop goes first, stop pulling. So let's start to pull. Alright, so I stopped pulling because this back loop here is the one that's pulling first, which means this one in the front we have to get rid of first. So what you want to do is the one that went in, you have to pull the bottom half of it out, not the top half here, the bottom half down here. So if you're looking at it this way, it's like a C. You want to pull it out of the bottom here. So pull that loop out from the bottom. You're going to see the other loop start to disappear, which is exactly what we want. So keep pulling until you see that loop entirely disappear into your magic loop. Okay, like that. See how it's gone now? So now we can take this excess piece and pull it to watch this loop then disappear entirely into the magic loop. So pull that now. This one's easier than the other one. So pull it, and then we're going to pull it in the opposite direction and up just to get a little bit more of that last bits out of this loop. And you can see that it really closed off that loop. So that's why they call it the magic loop, because it goes from an open hole to a closed hole. So let's continue on. I want to gather up some yarn here. Alright, now let me give you some history about these kits. They used to be horrible in the instructions. They're not as horrible as they are now. But they did come with a marker. And I don't know if they came with 1 or 4. I can't remember. But either way, they don't put these in anymore. And I have to tell you that these are highly recommended for beginners. If you do not, well, these kits now, they don't have them. You're not going to see them. Maybe you can leave a review on their website if you get that, if you have the chance. But I highly recommend finding these at a hobby store or online for like a couple of bucks or whatever, and they come in packs. The more the merrier, because these are going to help you so much. If you don't have them, what I recommend, and this is risky because you can take the yarn that they provided you and, like, say use the black yarn, cut a little bit of the black yarn, and you can kind of thread it through your stitch, which is going to be a nightmare to do, but not too bad. Make pretend I cut this piece. You can pull the loop out a bit, stick your hook backside into this braid, like, hold on, okay, then you just take the yarn and you feed it through. Make pretend I just cut this because I don't want to cut it, but anyway, you feed it through and you pull one side out, and then you can use it to mark your last stitch. And if you can imagine this being black, it's easier to see. If you use yellow, it's going to be a little hard to see, which means for the two colors, you want to make like a 1.5 inch long of yellow, 1.5 inch long of black, so that you can mark your stitching. But sometimes when you get multiple rounds that you'll see on your instructions, it's like round 13 through 14, something like that, you're going to need that many pieces of yarn. So like I said, it's easier if you just buy this. But anyway, let's put this stuff back. I am going to use my markers. Okay, but before we put this on, we have to just do a slip stitch. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Count back 6 stitches from the hook. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You stick your hook into the 6th stitch. Alright, and a slip stitch is basically doing a yarn over, and we're going to pull through all of the loops off your hook like that. Okay, so we just closed the round. I'm going to take my marker and place it right under the stitch, and we're going to close it off. Right, so now we're going to do round 2. We're going to chain 1, do 6 increasing stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 12 stitches. So yarn over and pull through the loop. That's a chain 1, and then we're going to do 6 increasing stitches. So the way you do that is we're going to put the hook into the next stitch, and we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in this one stitch. So let me show you how to do that. We're going to yarn over, pull up a loop, to have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to yarn over and you're going to pull through those 2 loops. We have 1 single crochet stitch. Let's do another one. Stick your hook into that same stitch we just used. We're going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So now we have 2 single crochet stitches. So then we're going to do 5 more of these. So into the next stitch, again we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches in this one stitch. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into the same stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Alright, so now into the next stitch, we are going to do this all the way around. So into the next stitch, put in your hook, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches again, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Into that same stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So now we just have to do this 3 more times. 1, 2, and 3. Alright, I'm going to remove the marker. We have to do a slip stitch, so I'm going to count back 12 stitches, and we're going to do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12. Put your hook into the 12th stitch. We're going to yarn over and pull through all the loops to make a slip stitch. And then I'm going to put the marker under the last stitch we made. And then we're going to move to round 3. And let me gather up some yarn here. So for round 3, we're going to chain 1, a single crochet stitch, an increasing stitch 6 times, a slip stitch, and then do 18 stitches altogether. Okay, so let's chain 1, yarn over, pull through the loop. We've got chain 1. Then we're going to do a single crochet stitch. Then we're going to do an increasing stitch. So that's 2 single crochet stitches in the same stitch. And then we just have to repeat this 5 more times. Single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, repeat it 4 more times, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, and then repeat 4 more times. Or did I already do that? Let's see, chain, single, increase, single, increase, single, increase. I didn't even count it. Oh well, single increase all the way around. You guys get the idea. Okay, I'm going to remove the marker. I want to count back 18 stitches and do a slip stitch. 3, 5, 10, 15, 18. Do a slip stitch. And then we're going to mark the last stitch that we just made. And then for round 4, we're going to chain 1, 2 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 6 times, and end up with a slip stitch and end up with 24 stitches. So chain 1, we're going to do 2 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, then we're going to do an increasing stitch, and repeat this 5 more times. 2 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch. Repeat this 4 more times. 2 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch, and then repeat it 3 more times. Okay, remove the marker, count back 24 stitches and do a slip stitch. 5, 10, 15, 20, 22, 24. Mark the last stitch we made. Then we're going to move on to round 5. Round 5 is chain 1, 3 single crochet stitches, an increasing stitch 6 times, do a slip stitch, and end up with 30 stitches. Okay, so chain 1, just gathering up some yarn here. Okay, 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, increasing stitch, 1, 2, repeat this 5 more times, 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, increasing stitch, 1, 2, repeat this 4 more times, 3 single crochet stitches, 1, 2, 3, increasing stitch, 2, and then I just have to repeat this 3 more times. Let me gather up some yarn here. One, two, and 3. Then I'm going to count back 30 stitches, and we're going to do a slip stitch. 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Put the marker, the last stitch we made. Right? Then we're going to do round 6, which is 30 single crochet stitches. Pretty straightforward, and do a slip stitch, but we're going to switch to black yarn. So what I have to remind myself is to stop at the 29th stitch and show you how to start your black yarn. And you will identify black yarn as the red font in the instructions. So chain 1, and let's do 29 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. I'm not going to do the last one yet. What you want to do is pull this hook out, make that loop a little extra long here. This is to keep from losing your stitch, because we're going to remove the hook. We're going to set aside your project here, and I'm going to show you how to start off your black. So with your ring, pinky, and thumb, just grab the end piece here of the black. With your index and middle finger, you want to hold apart your yarn a little bit a ways. We're going to take our hook and lie it perpendicular to the yarn. Then we're going to move our hook down, out, and around to make this loop around the hook. You can slide your hook up and down like this. Slide it all the way down to your thumb. Take your middle finger and just pinch it where it is crossing so that you can let go of your right hand. I'm going to gather up some yarn here, and then I'm going to re-pinch this end piece down here. We're going to slide it down to the thumb, and where it crosses, I'm going to pinch where it crosses so that I stabilize my hook. I can no longer slide it up and down. You want to yarn over, and we're going to pull this through the loop. And once you get that, we're going to overhand our hook like this. You want to re-pinch that end piece with your thumb and your middle finger. Okay, and then we're going to push this knot towards your thumb, tightening it as we push it down. Okay, you just keep pushing it down until the knot becomes too tight enough to move anymore. And once you get to that point, stop pushing. You can then take this end piece and pull it out with your middle finger and thumb just to make that knot a little more snug. You don't need to pull it super tight, just enough to tighten up this knot just a little bit more. Then we're going to grasp the knot and we're going to slide it up towards the hook. And don't do it all the way. You just want enough to have some of this slack in there. We're going to slip the loop off our hook, and we're going to set this aside for now. Go ahead and pick up your project again. Stick your hook back into that loop. Tighten up the loop around your hook. So now I'm going to complete my last single crochet stitch. Into the marker, do your single crochet stitch. Okay, remove the marker. You want to count back 30 single crochet stitches. So let's see, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Stick your hook into the 30th stitch. Instead of using the yellow yarn, hold it back with your ring and middle finger. We're going to come in with our black and slip that onto our hook. Gather up some yarn around your finger. We're going to pull this strand through these 2 loops, and then that's going to complete our 6th round. And we're going to put the marker under the last stitch we made. Now, we don't need to cut off the yellow just yet, because now we're going to alternate between yellow and black. So for round 7, we have to chain 1, do 30 single crochet stitches, and we're going to do a slip stitch. Oh my god. Okay. This is starting to give me Charlie Brown vibes. I should probably make my own Charlie Brown. I think that would be really cute. Okay, last single crochet stitch. Remove the marker. Let's just check to see that we have 30 stitches. 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. We're going to swap out the yellow to the black. Okay, so yarn over and pull through all the loops off your hook. We're going to mark the last stitch that we made. Now, as you see, I've been fighting with this curve that's naturally curving. However, the wrong side is facing out because we have this excess piece working, just floating there. So what you want to do is invert your project. You want to push in the inside to outside and turn out the outside rim like that to complete this flip. So we're inverting this so that the right side shows, and look how nice it is. You'll know it's the right side because you can see each individual ring and it has a nice pattern to it. The other side has this. We're going to tuck this little piece away. So now we are going to do round 10, which is a chain 1, 30 single crochet stitches, and we're going to slip stitch with the yellow. So like I said, we are just bouncing back between black and yellow, creating the bumblebee stripes. This you can just try not to crochet into, but we're going to continue this. gathering up some yarn. And just to let you know, since I am using my own yarn, it's going to look much bigger than the one you're making, because I believe the size of the yarn is a lot bigger. And I really don't pay attention to the numbers, so I really couldn't tell you what size this is. I didn't even know yarn had sizes, to be honest. Alright, remove the marker. We're going to count back 30 stitches and then do a slip stitch with the yellow. 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then 30. Alright, hold back this black. We're going to switch to the yellow. And let's do our slip stitch. We're going to mark up the last stitch we made. Okay, so now we're going to do round 11, and it's the same instructions, just with yellow. And then we're going to let me twist this. My yarn's getting twisted between black and yellow. But yeah, we're going to complete this in yellow, and then we're going to slip stitch in black. So let me just grab some yarn here. So, doing round 11. Okay, remove the marker. We're going to count back 30, and we're going to do a slip stitch with the black. All right, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right? Slip stitch with the black, mark off our last stitch we made, and then we're going to complete round 12 with the black. We're going to slip stitch with the yellow, and then this is going to be it for the black. we're going to remove the marker. We're going to count back 30 and then do a slip stitch with the yellow. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay, let's do our slip stitch and mark the last stitch we made. So, like I said, we're not going to be using black anymore, so what I'm going to do is cut off to about 1.5 inches, right? Then we're going to tie it twice, not too loose, not too tight, around the yellow yarn. 1, 2, and you just set this inside here. Make sure you don't crochet into it. But we are going to be doing around 13 through 14, which is a chain 1, 30 single crochet stitches, to end up slip stitch and end up with 30 stitches. I am going to do these 2 rows in silence because they're pretty straightforward. Three, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Alright, I finished rounds 13 and 14, and it looks from 15 through 18, at least on this side of the instructions, we're going to be decreasing. So that should be fun. Alright, so for round 15, we're going to chain 1, do 3 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch, 6 times, a slip stitch, and end up with 24 stitches. So I'm going to show you how to do a decreasing stitch, since that is the new stitch for these instructions. Just gathering up some yarn here, a lot of yarn actually. Alright, so let's chain 1. We're going to do 3 single crochet stitches, 2, 3, and then to do a decreasing stitch, we're basically going to take 2 stitches and turn it into 1. So how we do that: stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop, so you have 2 loops onto your hook. Then you go into the next stitch, yarn over, and pull up a loop, so you have 3 loops on your hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and so we converted the 2 stitches down here to the 1 stitch up here. So now we just have to repeat this 5 more times. So 3 single crochet stitches, then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. Again, we're going to take 2 single crochet stitches and turn it into 1. So stick your hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook. Stick your hook into the next stitch over, yarn over, and pull up a loop. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. You're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So we took 2 stitches and turned it into 1. So now we just have to repeat this 4 more times. 3 single crochet stitches, okay, and then we're going to do a decreasing stitch. So into the next stitch, put in your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop. We have 2 loops onto your hook. Then into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. Now you have 3 loops onto your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. We took 2 stitches and turned it into 1. So now we just have to repeat this 3 more times. Remove the marker. We're going to count back 24 stitches and then do a slip stitch. 5, 10, 15, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stick your hook into the 24th stitch. And we're going to do a slip stitch. And then put your marker. to the last stitch we made. Alright, so now for round 16 we're going to do a chain 1, 2 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch 6 times, a slip stitch, and end up with 18 stitches. Okay, so the 2 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch, and then repeat this 5 more times. 2 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch, repeat this 4 more times, 2 single crochet stitches, a decreasing stitch, and then just repeat it 3 more times. Count back 18 stitches. Let me just double count this. 3, 5, 10, 15, 18. Mark the last stitch we made. Alright, so now for round 17 we're going to chain 1, do 1 single crochet stitch, 1 decreasing stitch 6 times, a slip stitch, and end up with 12 stitches. So chain 1, 1 single crochet stitch, 1 decreasing stitch, repeat that 5 more times, single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch, repeat that 4 more times, single crochet stitch, decreasing stitch, and repeat that 3 more times. We're going to do 3, 5, 3, 10, and then 12, and do a slip stitch. Mark the last stitch we made. Now we're going to add the eyes and stuff with fiber fill. So let me see where the eyes are. It doesn't specify what rows, so what we're going to do is just count them. So we have 1, 2, 3, looks like it's in an actual row, But let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just put it after 4. So I'm going to take these, and again, I normally don't do them, but this is the second one that I've done, so I'm just going to use the eyes to do the second bee. And I don't want to worry about this loop, so I'm going to pull this out. I mean hook, I don't want to worry about that. But we're going to look for the best side for the top. This would probably go in the bottom since our little marker point is there. So we're going to do this. I'm going to count 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to stick an eye here. Right, then I'm going to take the backing, and I never know if you put it this way or the other way, but whatever. Okay, we're going to slip this on, and then we have to pick another. I hope these are the eyes. Oh, well, I probably used the wrong. Can I take it back out? Yeah, thankfully. The packets obviously will have the correct size eyes. I have so many of these kits that I don't know if I have the right eyes. But anyway, these are bigger ones. I think the bee needs to have bigger eyes. Should all be the same size, to be honest. But anyway, slip on the bigger eye. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have that here. Okay. Then slip on that backing. Okay. See, and that's why I don't want these to be given to children, because I don't feel confident in those eyes staying there, since I removed the other ones fairly easily. And we're gonna put the other eyes, same number of rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want to kind of fit them, I don't know, evenly. So let's put them here, see what they look like. Alright, now we're going to put the backing. Okay. Then I'm going to take my fiber fill. I have my own. Obviously I'm not going to have the one in the kit because I used that already. But let me just... we have to sew the face on. They're going to make you do it later. I'm going to make you do it now because you really should get that done, because it'll be easier to tie knots. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let me just cut a piece of, you can use embroidery floss. I'm just going to use a smaller sized yarn. See if they have a size on here. Alright, this is a 4 medium. Never knew they had numbers. I don't remember what this one is, but see that there's a definite size difference. Like I said, if you have the kit, just use the embroidery floss they give you. But I am going to sew up a mouth. So the mouth, is basically across the first round. So we are gonna go in. I'm going to come in through one side here, then I'm going to go out right across the other side, and you know, instead of pulling it straight across, I want to have some slack here. What you want to do is we're going to come back in down here so that we can create a smiley face. So put your your needle down where the middle of that mouth is. And we're going to come up okay, and then we just want to go over this loop here and back into that row, and we're going to pull this enough to make that smile, and we're going to tie this together carefully, not too tight. You don't want to lose that smile that we made. So I'm going to tie this loosely twice and cut off the excess. Okay. Then we're going to stuff with fiber fill. But this is what it's looking like. Cute, right? Make sure you get your yarn out of the way there. But we're going to come back in. Like I said, I have my own fiber fill I'm going to start using to stuff this little bee. I'm just going to stuff the rest of this in here. I've got like 32 ounces of this stuff, so I'll be okay. You guys, on the other hand, I don't know how much fiber fill they give you, but I think it's enough to fill your project, but if you like firmness, maybe not. Alright, so we're going to complete the last round, you guys. When you do this, try not to sew into your fiber fill. You're going to pull it outside of the project and it's going to look a little weird. But for round 18, we're going to chain 1, 6 decreasing stitches all the way around. A slip stitch and end up with 6 stitches. So chain 1 and 6 decreasing stitches all the way around. And you want to try to keep your stitching very tight, because you don't want to have long gaps like this. I mean, I accidentally let them go, but you want to avoid doing that. And to do that, just make sure that this first initial loop remains this size. Try not to get it any longer or bigger. And you can achieve that by holding it down with your middle finger here. And we're going to do this all the way around. Okay, last one. Okay, we're going to remove this marker. We're going to count back 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're going to do a slip stitch. Okay, and it doesn't say to fasten off, but let me go in here into the instructions and see if we have to just fasten it off. I mean, that's what I'm going to do, because it really just doesn't tell you. So let me show you guys how to fasten off. Alright, we're not going to be needing anything else to sew onto here other than the wings. So what I'm going to do is cut off this yellow piece here, about 1.5 inches. Okay. Then to fasten off, you want to yarn over and pull that through the loop all the way out like that, and then just pull onto this loop that was there. Now it's a knot, and what we're going to do is just weave this in and out of the 6 stitches that we have for our last round. Okay, and then once you get all the way around, we're just going to pull this closed so that hole is no longer in existence there. And then what we want to do is just come up in a stitch next to the excess piece like this. We're going to yarn over, we're going to pull up a loop. Alright, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through the loop all the way out. And we're going to tighten it up like we did the last time to fasten off. Then you're going to put your hook into the bead just under the surface. Try to avoid the fiber fill. We're going to come up right next to where the excess piece is, yarn over, and you're going to drag the tail inside the body until it's all gone. Now if you're having a hard time pulling your hook back out, you can see there's fiber fill attached to the hook. What you could do is just stick it back into your project, push it out somewhere on the other side like that, and then just pull it out. Alright, now is a good time to kind of form your bee, make it nice and round. Look how cute this little guy is. Alright, so let me grab our white, because that is the next color yarn that we're going to use, and then we're going to make the wings. I think this is just going to be a part one. This whole video is going to just be the bee. No parts to this one. Alright, I'm going to set our little bee aside for now, and I have my white yarn here. What we're going to be doing is the magic loop again, so I'm going to show you this to you. We're making 2 wings, so I'm just going to do this twice for you guys, because I said 3 times I'd show you. So we're going to wrap the yarn to make 3 strands over your finger. You want a little bit of overage so that we can take our middle finger and hold it down. You can tighten the strands up here a little bit if they're a little loose. Okay. We're going to take our hook and slip it underneath the 3 strands. We're going to pull this back out, pulling this strand underneath these 2 hooks. So just like that. Then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull this strand through this loop like so. Now you can let go of your middle finger, you can slip off the loops off of your index finger, and we're going to do our first round, which is chain 1, 6 single crochet stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 6 stitches. So we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 6 single crochet stitches. Alright, so now that we're here, I'm going to overhand my hook. I'm going to gently pinch the bottom stitches here. We're going to pull this excess piece and see which loop goes in first. So pull on this, wait to see what loop goes in, and then this one is going in first. You want to pull the lower half out from this end, not from this end. So pull that out, and as you're pulling that out, the other loop is going to be going in to the magic loop. Keep pulling till that piece is completely hidden into the magic loop, just like that. Then you can grab this excess piece, pull that, and then the final loop will go in. So pull this. Alright, and just to get that little tidbit more, we're going to pull in the opposite direction and then a little up. And you're going to feel that there's a little give to that. Don't pull it too tight. But now we're going to do our slip stitch. 6 stitches from the hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we've completed our first round for the wing. Going to mark up the last stitch I made. Alright, and so for the next round, we're going to chain 1 and do 6 increasing stitches, a slip stitch, and end up with 12 stitches. So chain 1, and we're going to do 6 increasing stitches. Okay, I'm going to remove the marker. We're going to count back 12 and do a slip stitch. 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, put the marker to the last stitch we made. Then we're going to chain 1, do a single crochet stitch, an increasing stitch 6 times, a slip stitch, and end up with 18 stitches. So chain 1, I'm going to do a single crochet stitch, an increasing stitch, and repeat that 5 more times. Single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, repeat that 4 more times, single crochet stitch, increasing stitch, and then just repeat that 3 more times. Oops, the camera. I'm going to remove the marker already because it's fairly stiff. Alright, so I'm going to count back to 18 stitches and do a slip stitch. 6, 12, 15. Just double check. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Alright. So then it says leave enough yarn tails for sewing. So I'm just gonna also fasten off. So I have I don't know, I guess you could say what, 5 inches. Cut your yarn. I'm just guessing, they don't tell you, so remember, just be mindful how much yarn they give you. So we're gonna fasten this off, and you just yarn over, you pull this all the way out, and then you tighten it up, and then we have our first wing. And you guys, actually, I'm going to do the second one off camera. I'm also going to cut this down, but I'm going to do the second one off camera. You can just rewind it to do the other wing. But yeah, we'll come back in and I'm going to show you how I'm going to sew these together. When you do the second one, since we are sewing this together, you don't need to make the second one this long of a tail. Just do like the 1.5 and we're going to weave it in, and I'll show you how I'm going to weave it in. So I'll pop back in a sec. Alright, so I have my second piece here. This is where I did like 1.5 inches or so. And then when you turn it towards the back, you have that excess piece. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off like I did with the last one. Okay, and then we're going to tuck in that piece. And how you do it is we're just going to weave it in and out of the stitches here. So just put your hook underneath that braid or the stitch and just keep pulling it in and out of the wing. Okay. So then we have to sew the wings together. Okay. And you can always trim out the extras that are poking out from the wing here. But what we're going to do now is we're going to sew the wings together onto the body. So I'm just going to grab my needle. I'm going to thread it up with the white yarn. Okay, so I'm actually going to sew it around. So I want it to go like this. So we're going to have it have the right faces facing inside and the wrong sides facing outside. And I'm just going to go under this stitch that has the that fraying weave piece, the piece that we woven. Oh Lord. And we can just take another stitch here and do the same here and go back. Just want to make sure that these two stick together. Okay. Now we're going to sew this onto the body. So in this photo here, it looks like it could be on the stripes somewhere in the middle. So just find your middle between the eyes. You know, you're just gonna have to guesstimate that, and I'm gonna put that around here. So you can take your needle You go through like this. You want to just make sure that you secure the wings onto your body. And I think it's the cutest thing that we have this very bulbous body with the tiniest wings possible on this bee. It's pretty funny. I guess you can consider this a bumblebee. Okay. And once you think you've secured your wings, just find a spot to tie a knot. So maybe I'll choose the back here. Okay. I'm just gonna figure out a way to tie my knot. Okay, once you have that, you can cut the excess. And we're going to take our hook, put it just under the surface of the bee, come up where the excess piece is, do a yarn over, and drag this into the body. And then you can push the hook out through the other side. And then here we have our little bee. Alright, here we are. So, comment below, let me know how it went for you guys. Let me know what you think of this. This is a really cute bee. I think this one is better than the one that I did make. I would whip that one out for you, but I already put that one away. But I think it's looking pretty darn close to the picture. So this is so cute. Well, thank you so much, you guys, for watching. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.